Are you one of those people who find themselves always in meetings? That the day is spread out by a series of meetings that nearly fill the day. And then when you look over your calendar for the week, you think, when am I going to get the time to do my actual work? In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 meetings that can easily be done asynchronously. By asynchronous, you don't all need to be doing it in a room at the same time, but you can still get the same, if not better, results. Welcome to my channel. My name is Helen Bryant, and I share leadership, collaboration, and communication tips that help people thrive in this new world of hybrid work. So, first off, what is an asynchronous meeting? A synchronous meeting is you're all doing it at exactly the same time. So whether it's on Zoom or whether you're in a meeting room together, all of your time is taken. These meetings are brilliant for team building, for problem solving, for decision making, for individual, more personal conversations. Asynchronous meetings are topic specific discussions that take place just like you would have in a meeting, but not in real time. And they're enabled by digital tools like Teams or Slack or maybe a project management. So what's the benefit of asynchronous meetings? The number one thing is it saves you time, because when people are working on slightly different work schedules, it means the work still gets done, but it gets done when you have time to do it. It isn't about anchoring everybody at exactly the same time. They're useful if you work in multi-time zones or have a dispersed team, or you have a lot of flexibility in your team, so that it gives people time to do their work when they're doing their work. They're also useful because they give people more time to think. In a meeting, say it's an hour long, the agenda can get very concertinaed and there might be a topic that needs to be explored, and everybody's feeling the pressure of, I've got to get onto that next meeting. So the conversation can get squashed, and it can also be more dominated by the more extrovert types within your group. And many introverts or people who are more reflective hold back to listen to everyone else, and those voices can get missed. The other benefit of asynchronous meetings is that you have a record of what was said. So it's a really transparent way of collaborating and can play a significant part in helping you solve problems. Now, there are some downsides. You don't get an immediate response. That's one of the things that often people want. I want to know right now. So you need to be much more intentional and thinking about and planning out and designing these conversations. You have to be very intentional and really focused on the outcomes that you want to achieve. Obviously, everybody's working individually, and therefore there's less time with teammates. However, if you blend these asynchronous meetings with synchronous meetings in a workflow as you collaborate, you often find that work can move along both quickly and you get some strength in the solutions. So what are the 3 async meetings that I think you could do quite easily, that would save you time and would be relatively easy to put in place? The first is an update. I've been there. When we're in a meeting, when we're going around the room and everybody's giving an update on a particular project or where they are on delivering their results, and really everybody's there for their own bit, their show, when it's their turn. And actually when everybody else is talking, you tend to fade back. And if you're on a Zoom call, that's the point when you might be looking at your phone or doing a few emails on the side. All too often, updates actually don't deliver collaboration. It's just noise going around the group, apart from the person who actually needed to be updated. Now, I think if you think about updates, actually the real thing that updates do is help you identify things working and that you might want to do more of, and help people learn ideas that were working. And the other thing it helps you do is spot issues. And often that's what the manager of the group is actually doing, or the project leader of the group is actually listening to these updates, trying to spot strengths and opportunities or issues and risks. So the way to do an update instead would be to set that up asynchronously. Set up a format by which people update. It's great to use a template that everybody uses, that you update in real time, that everybody can read. But the bit you want to pull out, maybe in the question and chat part of this update, is what issues do people see, or what opportunities do people see? And then you, as the meeting lead, can look at this and look for common themes. And then when you come face to face, you start at that point. And then suddenly the energy in face to face is all upon solving that problem or learning from each other a new way of doing something or an insight, and then working out how to leverage it. It's a much more action-orientated discussion than the more passive, where are we all? It can save a lot of time if you start there and increase the engagement of the team in that problem solving. This works for all kinds of updates, project updates, stand-ups, check-ins. One thing people often say to me is one of the things they feel they get from an update is accountability. But actually, accountability and transparency of your work, and the fact that if you follow it up into a more high value conversation, I think you maintain that engagement and you certainly maintain the accountability that people feel. That alone is not going to deliver accountability within your team, but I think it can really help you. The second async meeting that can make a difference is any top-down presentation or meeting where there is only one presenter. Again, we've all sat there, we've gone into a meeting, we all sit there, somebody gets up, the PowerPoint deck goes on, and that person then talks for 30 odd minutes. And at the end go, any questions? And there's one or two questions. And with that, everybody leaves again. The way to do this is for the meeting owner, the person who's presenting, to record their presentation. Again, if you put it onto Teams or Slack, think of some questions that you would want to know the answer to, or provide an opportunity for people to ask questions back, which again, you can answer in the chat. It saves people time. You're still presenting, they still see you, they still hear the tone of your voice, your enthusiasm for the topic, but it means that they can all listen to it or watch it at their own time. Now, the thing with this, the normal pushback on this one that I get is, how will I know they watch it? There's the kind of lack of trust. Now, this always makes me laugh because quite often when they're virtual anyway, I say, so is everybody's cameras on? And everybody goes, no. At which point I point out that I can pretty much tell you that people were already doing that email at the same time. They may have been there on the system, but were they really listening? And actually, there are much more effective ways to assess understanding of your presentation than just presenteeism. And the thing about this is you can do them quite regularly because you're not pressurized by the diary. So back in the days when I was a senior person and we'd had this technology, I definitely would have used this quite frequently to talk to quite a large team so that you can share updates or messages and progress without necessarily bringing everybody in for that hour-long session. A third asynchronous meeting is feedback. It might be feedback on a project. It might be feedback on how you're working together. It might be feedback on the meeting. The more we can incorporate feedback into all different aspects of the way in which we work, the more you'll create a learning culture within your team, the faster the feedback will get shared. And also, sometimes asynchronous is a great way because it doesn't put people under pressure. You can do anonymous feedback, you can use polls, you can use either Google Forms or Microsoft Forms and just set things up so that people can give information anonymously. You can use polls so you can score things. There are great ways of finding out how are we doing, what are we doing well, what could we do better? And doing that asynchronously, especially if your team is spread out, you're not together so often, can be a very effective way of raising and maintaining feedback over time. So there you go, 3 asynchronous meetings: the update, the top-down or single presenter presentation, and for feedback. So a couple of tips to help you to get this set up within your team. First, if this is relatively new to your team, you need to launch the principle of it. You have to indicate a change in direction to the way in which things are normally done, because a lot of work becomes quite habitual. We do it because we've always done it, and what you're doing there is changing those habits to new routines and rituals. So you're going to have to spend a bit of time doing this. And I think if it's completely new and you've never done it, it would be something I would focus on for, say, 4 to 8 weeks. You need to nurture it to get it going, and everybody has moved over into that. You want to really emphasize where you want the communication to be in the tool, not on email. It's all about keeping that communication transparent within the tool. The second tip is you need to encourage conversation. You need to ask questions and have a call to action, so it is very clear to people what you want to happen. So big open questions like, what do you think, are not very effective. I like to think of it when you're opening up chat like this, is, especially if there's a lot of people on there, it's a bit like a marquee, and you're asking a question, and of course you can't see anybody else. It is the feeling of, I'm going into a marquee here and I'm going to say something and I don't know what other people are going to say, and that can be scary for people. You need to design the conversation that you want people to have. So you need to be more focused in your questions. And I cannot underestimate how just saying, what do you like about this? What are the strengths? And what do you see as the issues can already help divide feedback into the kind of positives that you can leverage and more of the issues that you might need to fix. So you've got to think about the questions and the call to action that you use. Tip 3. Vary the medium. So don't be just typing and writing all the time. One of the things I think we all have to get more comfortable with is talking on video. So recording yourself on Zoom or Teams, doing a simple presentation just in the virtual room by yourself, and recording it and then sharing it out. You know, you've got to get comfortable with that. People want to see your face. They don't just want the screen show. So always have your face on there so people can see. And sometimes just speak straight into a camera. And of course, we can all do that on our phones or whatever. That's absolutely fine to record a short video and then share it out. You've just got to get comfortable. People aren't looking for perfection. You'll bring so much more insight, energy. Also consider audio files. That can be a quick and effective way of sharing feedback. The fourth tip is nurture. So you need to spend time going in there and just seeing the responses. When people write, say thank you, build on things. The more you join in and the more you can encourage others to join in, the better the conversation will be and the more people will participate. Now, just one word on this. A general rule of thumb is the bigger the group of people, then the more nervous they are of doing it. But small teams where you already know each other, this should not be so much of a concern. You should get good async meetings going very quickly. The final thing to do is to keep reviewing how it's working. So finding out from your teammates what they like, what they're finding more difficult, working together to find the most efficient way for you to do this and make this work. So my call to action to you is to have a go. Look for a topic in your project team or in your team that you think could work well, an update, a presentation you need to share, or some feedback, and have a go. See what will happen. And if you have any problems, reach out to me either here or on social, and I will be happy to help. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. You'll get reminded for every video I release. I release one video each week. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.